Paul Heyman comments on a dream Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns alliance in WWE. Bayley sends a message to a returning WWE superstar, and a former WWE writer opens up about real-life heat with John Cena. What's up, everyone? I'm Jose G, and there's a lot to talk about in today's Sportskeeda Wrestling WWE News Roundup. Never miss brand new content by liking, sharing, and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Paul Heyman comments on a Brock Lesnar-Roman Reigns alliance in WWE. Paul Heyman would like to include both Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns in the same faction if he formed the modern-day version of the Dangerous Alliance. Heyman, formerly known as Paul E. Dangerously, founded the group during his time in the AWA in 1987. He went on to create various Dangerous Alliance incarnations in WCW and ECW before disbanding the faction in 1995. Speaking in an interview with Hot 101.9, Heyman was asked to fantasy book a new Dangerous Alliance in 2022. In response, he continued to leave fans guessing on where his allegiance lies between Lesnar and Reigns. The former ECW owner also joked that Vince McMahon could join the group due to his financial might. With Paul Heyman working as its leader, the Dangerous Alliance consisted of some of the biggest names in wrestling. Arn Anderson, Bobby Eaton, Larry Zbyszko, Medusa, Rick Rude, and Stunning Steve Austin were among the group's most notable stars. Heyman has been involved with Lesnar as an advocate and Reigns as a special counsel this last year. At day one, Lesnar was supposed to face Reigns for the Universal title, but Roman Reigns tested positive for COVID-19, forcing that match to be canceled. Lesnar was inserted into the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE title, making it a Fatal 5-Way, with Lesnar pinning Big E to become the 6-time WWE Champion. At the Royal Rumble, the almighty Bobby Lashley looks to dethrone the Beast Incarnate for the first time ever, while former Shield brothers Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns battle it out for the Universal title. Liv Morgan teases doing something crazy with men's Royal Rumble competitor. Liv Morgan was unsuccessful in her recent pursuit of the Raw Women's Championship. However, with the Royal Rumble to look forward to, it's another big chance for the sentimental favorite of WWE Universe to get another shot at the gold. In a recent Twitter post, Morgan teased something big for the Royal Rumble. Following 2 unsuccessful attempts against Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, Morgan competed in a triple threat match to determine Big Time Bex's Royal Rumble opponent. Unfortunately for her, she took the pinfall as Doudrop emerged as the #1 contender. Men's Royal Rumble competitor Johnny Knoxville was shown in a WWE TikTok video roasting his fellow competitors. In response, Liv Morgan seemingly teased working with him. Knoxville will be in the Men's Royal Rumble while Morgan will be in the 5th Women's Edition. As great it will be to see them work together, they both in 2 different matches. However, it would be fun to see Knoxville in a backstage segment with Morgan at the Royal Rumble. Given how he roasted many big competitors on TikTok, it wouldn't be a surprise to see some of those names gang up on him. 6-time champion sends a message to Big E and Bobby Lashley and reveals if he'll appear at the Royal Rumble. Former WWE star Gregory Helms, also known as Hurricane Helms, has sent a message to Big E and Bobby Lashley ahead of the 2022 Royal Rumble. In a recent exchange on Twitter, Helms was asked if he will be appearing as a surprise entrant at this year's 30-man Royal Rumble match. In response, the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion pretty much hinted that he won't be appearing at this year's Rumble following his interaction with Big E and Bobby Lashley at last year's match. During the 2021 Royal Rumble match, Hurricane entered at number 23 and followed Lashley in the match, who entered at 22. The 2 former WWE champions teamed up on Helms and eliminated him in under 30 seconds. At this year's Royal Rumble, Bobby Lashley will be facing WWE Champion Brock Lesnar for the first time ever. Meanwhile, Big E has announced that he will be in the Men's Royal Rumble match at the end of the month. Bayley sends a message to a returning WWE Superstar. Former SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley continues to remain highly active on social media amidst her WWE absence. She has now sent a message to Summer Rae during their friendly Twitter banter. Rae is set to return to WWE in the upcoming Women's Royal Rumble match after being released in 2017. Recently, she shared a throwback picture of herself, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and Charlotte Flair on Twitter. The role model replied to the same, accusing Summer Rae of breaking her headband, which she could be seen wearing in the picture. Staying in her heel character, she told Rae, "I hate you." The two have had quite a bit of a friendly Twitter banter over the last few days after Summer Rae's Royal Rumble return announcement. Replying to the tweet from WWE, asking fans who are they most excited to see in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble match, Bayley wrote the lyrics of Summer Rae's WWE entrance theme, "Rush of Power." Rae noticed the same and replied to it by requesting the role model to put her over. WWE has successfully managed to build a lot of hype around this year's Women's Royal Rumble match. They have achieved this by announcing several major returns and entrants for the bout. However, the biggest announcement was that the former WWE Superstar and current Impact Knockouts champion, Mickie James. Former WWE writer opens up about real-life heat with John Cena. Actor and former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr. spoke on his Wrestling with Freddie podcast about some real-life heat he had with John Cena. Prinze Jr., who appeared in the Scooby-Doo and I Know What You Did Last Summer franchises, allegedly caught some flack from Cena for being an actor. Prinze Jr. also said he respected Cena's desire to be WWE's top star in the PG era. Freddie also described an incident with Cena during an acting class. While Prinze Jr. was working with Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, Cena allegedly bursted in the session, unfolded a chair, and sat between the former Raw Tag Team Champions. When Freddie pulled Cena aside and asked him why he interrupted the class, the 16-time world champion had a frank and brutal response. Prinze Jr. explained that he was simply trying to help his colleagues take their acting to the next level, to which Cena allegedly shrugged and responded with a sly dig before walking away. News of the incident even reached Vince McMahon, who had his own opinion on the matter. Cena and Prinze Jr. resolved their issue, and the former would never interrupt promo class hosted by the latter. Thanks for watching today's Sportskeeda Wrestling WWE News Roundup. For exclusive content that you never want to miss, you gotta subscribe to our YouTube channel and smash that notification bell so you never miss whenever we drop brand new content. Follow us on all social media and download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.